Hello, welcome to Chris Collects and another edition of 4K Blu-ray reviews. This week, we're going to take a look at the Dark Knight trilogy on 4K. But before we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get notified for all future videos. Leave a comment down below, tell me which one is your favourite from the Dark Knight trilogy. Let's get into it. Okay, so originally I was going to do all three movies together in one video, but this is my favourite trilogy of all time, and The Dark Knight is my favourite film of all time. So I've decided instead that I'm going to split this up into 3 videos this week. First being Batman Begins on Monday, The Dark Knight being on the Wednesday, and The Dark Knight Rises being on the Friday. So, let's first of all take a look at Batman Begins. Now, we are going to talk about the film a little bit. We are going to talk about image quality, audio quality, special features, and of course, the packaging as well. So, Batman Begins. This came out in 2005. I remember going to see this on release date with my family. We were on holiday, and I believe it was the Isle of Wight, I think is where we were. And I remember seeing this, and I remember also going to a toy store after and buying like 4 of the figures and some Batman roleplay stuff. There was like a gauntlet and stuff. Very cool. This was the first film I saw in cinema where I really started to appreciate film. I was quite young at the time. I didn't start high school till The Dark Knight came out, actually, in 2008. But before this, I'd seen Star Wars Attack of the Clones, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, Spider-Man 2. But this was the first sort of film that made me sort of look at film a little bit differently. And what a great film to sort of get someone into film. This really is where my passion for film started. So, we've got Christian Bale in the role of Bruce Wayne Batman. We've got Gary Oldman in the role of Captain Gordon, I believe, at the time of Batman Begins. We've also got Michael Caine as Alfred. We've got Katie Holmes as Rachel, who's the made-up love interest for this film. And for villains, we've got Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul. And we've also got Cillian Murphy as Scarecrow. Now, this is an interesting one because it was shot on film, but the upscale for this was finished on a 2K digital intermediate, which Nolan doesn't usually like to do, but I would imagine that's due to kind of logistics of getting these films onto 4K, and I think all of his back catalogue films that are being put out on 4K were done with a 2K digital intermediate. This is also the only one of the trilogy that didn't feature any IMAX sequences. I believe that's because when The Dark Knight was made, IMAX was still in sort of the early days, and they were big, heavy cameras. I'm pretty sure there was only 8 of them in the world at the time, and they broke one on the set of The Dark Knight. So this film doesn't actually feature any IMAX sequences. And if you compare the Blu-ray to the 4K, there is a very, 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 very slight difference in picture, and that is this 4K is a little bit more natural. The Blu-ray is just a tad darker than the 4K is. The 4K's got a bit more of a natural colour and a natural brightness to the overall image, which the Blu-ray just ever so slightly lacks. But you'd be hard-pressed to notice a real difference, if I'm honest. the real selling point, really, and it's the real selling point for the 3 films in general on 4K, is they all come packed with their original theatrical 5.1 DTS master audio track. Boy, is that noticeable. That is so noticeable. Watching these on 4K for the first time, which I did a few times. They were the first films I watched on 4K, and I've watched them many times since. And I also actually bought these 4K Blu-rays before I even owned a device capable of playing and displaying 4K. The audio just took me back. It took me back to the cinema. I've had the fortune of seeing some of these films again in cinema in later years. I've seen The Dark Knight a fair few times in the BFI IMAX in London, which is like just a proper IMAX screen. And it just transported me back, the audio. So I think the audio really is the real selling point. So if I was to rate Image, I'm rating Image at around a 3.5 out of 5. If I'm rating audio, I'm rating it at 5 out of 5. I think the audio is really what you're paying for with these 4K releases. In terms of special features, I do just need to actually grab the Blu-ray for this, because this is a slightly fancy edition of this and it doesn't have the specs on the back. It does have all these Blu-ray special features. I'm not 100% sure if it's got any extras, because I haven't checked in a while. But before this goes out, I will check, and if there are any additional special features, they'll be linked in the description below. But it does have Cape and Cowl, the development of the new Batsuit, Batman the Tumbler, the reinvention of the Batmobile, Path to Discovery, a look at the first week of filming on rugged and remote Iceland location, Saving Gotham City, the development of miniatures, CGI and effects for the monorail chase scene, Genesis of the Bat, a look at the Dark Knight's incarnation and influences on the film, reflections on writing Batman Begins with David S. Goyer, Digital Batman, the effects you may have missed, Batman Begins stunts, confidential files, discover facts and story points not in the film, stills gallery and theatrical trailer. So there is a lot to dive into with these films in particular. Obviously, quite a lot of the effects are done practically. There are some, obviously, that had to be done digitally. One that stands out to me is the sequence with the stairwell with the SWAT officers and the swarm of bats comes through. Obviously, that's digital, because you can't really train a swarm of bats to do that. So all of that's digital, and there are very few kind of digital effects, and you wouldn't really notice them because so much of it is done practical. But special features are great. Like I said, it ports over everything from the Blu-ray. I do just need to check actually with all of these, see if there's anything new. But I mean, I know a lot about these movies, which is why I don't see myself going back to the special features that often. In terms of packaging, however, this is the limited edition film book packaging. You've got a nice image of Batman on the front there, where Batman Begins, and at the top it says a film, I think it says, yeah, a film by Christopher Nolan, or is it? Yeah, a film by Christopher Nolan. On the back, it's hard to make out, but you've got a really faint brown coloured bat logo on there. Open it up. We've got the 4K disc here. We've got some nice still from the film. And this booklet gives you some really nice art. That's actually the front cover of the Blu-ray Steelbook that I have for this film. There's a synopsis for the film, as well as the credits. More of a synopsis there with an image of Batman. An about production page. And this book really is just chocked full with information about the production of the film. You get some really nice double page still images. It's a really nice one from the Wayne Manor sequence in the film. But there's just loads of information about production. And then a really nice image of Batman at the back. With another image of Batman there. And then you've got the 2 Blu-ray discs. So you've got the movie disc and the special features disc. I believe they are both Blu-ray discs. Let's just double check. Oh, this is one of those. This is a really hard disc to get out because it's got these little pull tabs. There we go. Yeah, it is a Blu-ray special features disc. So there are no special features on the 4K, apart from I think it might have the commentary track on the 4K disc. But that is Batman Begins. I give it a 5 out of 5 for packaging because, I mean, these are really nice additions. So overall, I'd give this a solid 8.5 out of 10. I think the only thing really holding it back is if you're expecting a big jump in image quality, you might be a little bit disappointed. But man, that audio is what you are paying for with this release. So I hope you liked this video. Like I said, The Dark Knight will be on Wednesday and The Dark Knight Rises will be on Friday, as we are continuing our run up to The Batman. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and I'll see you on Wednesday.